Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series on the SP404 mk2, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. ShawnyDsMusic writes in asking, suggesting that syncing between an external device and the SP404 mk2 is, this is my words, hokey, and I agree, it's not always going to work the way you want. I've got this loop here. Maybe it's a sample. I've got it set to BPM sync. And I can adjust the BPM with using the tempo, drop it down. And it's playing as it's going to play. So it's got BPM sync on, it's working. Now, if I come over here and I play this loop, it is sending a Midi time clock signal over to the SP404 mk2. And it's just playing that loop. But if it's not in time or in sync, which this happens to be 96 BPM here, 96 BPM here, if it's in sync, it ought to work fine. And you can hear it's following that external tempo. But if I turn this off, it's going to just immediately jump back up to whatever the internal tempo is, because it's not getting a clock from an external device. That's also because I have it set to auto. Anyway, I mean, it works. It works. But if you're trying to record things and changing your BPM a lot, it's not going to be great, because this is what happens is if we play and we start reducing the BPM, it's not always going to know that it's getting the right. You can't be certain it's going to stay in sync, because it's not necessarily able to adjust to the BPM coming in quickly. So if you're playing, like, this isn't, I mean, it's rhythmic, but it's not like percussive. Anyway, my advice is, instead of kind of noodling around on the pads, I mean, you can, and I would say practice. Maybe I'll have to think about doing this some more and just see what I can come up with. But I mean, my advice is, if you really want to sync from an external device and control the SP404 mk2 and have it stay in sync, I would really, really, really suggest using patterns. And the reason why for this is, we can play this, and it's going to, right now it's not listening to the transport control. It may not, the MPC might not be sending a stop signal because it's not playing. But if I hit play, I just double tap it, it's now in sync. And I can adjust the tempo. And you can hear, I mean, it's just following right along. Now, I can't tell you it's going to be like stay 100% in time. I mean, that's going like super slow. But even if it doesn't stay in perfect time, every time it loops back around to the 1.1, the MPC, at least, I know, sends the transport control message, start at the beginning again, which is important for having the SP404 mk2 stay in sync, because then I can I can come in here, like, really crank it. And even if it doesn't like necessarily work out of the gate for like that first loop around, it will get itself locked into sync. Now, ShawnyDsMusic, I don't know how much you're playing around with doing these kinds of things, but at least this would be my advice is, kind of get whatever sequencer you want running, have it send your Midi clock to the SP404 mk2, and probably use patterns to trigger everything. I think it'll be much easier for you to work with and kind of keep everything a bit more in sync and help tighten it up a bit. I know Midi's not perfect, but I guess, that's my advice for what I would try doing. If you need more details of how I get this set up, feel free to drop them in the comments. Happy to try and help further. But as it is, I would just say, give it a try. Anyway, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music. Keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.